Okay guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to create your own custom workspace in Premiere Pro to work with your editing style or whatever makes you guys feel good. What we're looking at right here, is the default setup that comes standard in Premiere Pro, and I'm using 6.0. And to make sure, this is what it starts with. You go to editing, and then I just went reset current workspace. Yes, so this is the workspace that Premiere Pro CS6 opens up as. Depending on what version you're using, you might have a different layout, but this is the way to create a custom layout. So I'm going to show you the layout that I like to use that works the best for me. You might like it and you're welcome to use the same style, or you can make your own after you see this. There might be something I use that you're not going to use. So let me go ahead and show you my layout and what I like. So let me just open up some kind of clip here, and we'll take this teleprompter interview, and I'll just drag this in here. Here's the source. I'm just going to click here, and if you watch my other video on how to make a new sequence, you just click and drag your file, and this is an AVC HD file, so I'm just going to drag and drop it on here and make a new sequence. So this is what we have here. This is your project in your program, and this is your source file. So if you're going to cut things up, this is where you're going to cut it up here. Now, the way I set things up is I don't really need this space open right here. I don't need this source monitor open. So what I do is, if you look close up here, there's these little dots that are like a handle. This means you can just drag the window and pull it out. See how things start to change? So you can drop it wherever you want. You see how there's a purple line up there? If I drop it there, it'll go here. If I drag it here, put it here, it'll go on the side of there and move that over. But where I like to put the source monitor is right here on my program window. Not there, but right there in the tab. So what you want to do is you want to have the purple right there in the tab up top. So see this tab here? Drag it right there. Make sure it's on top. So you got your program monitor, and then you have your source. So now that we have that set, let me show you what else I like to do. This metadata here, you can click and drag it out. You can leave it there. I never use this. I mean, it's very rare for me to use this. So it's basically just in my way. So I'm going to close it. Now my audio mixer comes up here. You don't need to look at your audio fully all the time. You know what I mean? If you have a huge monitor or double monitor, that's fine. But you don't need to look at your audio levels all the time. So what I do is I take this and I drag this one over here to the right of my program monitor and my source monitor, and see how the little purple bar or blue bar appears here, and I drop it there. Okay, so now I have my audio here. You're thinking, okay, well that's still kind of big. I take this and I drag my audio here, so that when I need my audio, I just pull it out. So now my audio levels would be right here. I don't have any sound on this because I used a different mic to record the audio. If I did, this monitor would be jumping up with audio. I like to keep my audio with my audio, and when you'll see when I'm done is I like to have the timeline as big as possible. So I'm going to take the audio levels and click these little dots up here, these little brackets, and I'm going to drag it up to my audio. However, I like to keep my audio adjustments open, so I put this all the way to the right as well. Okay, so now you have your levels there, and to me that's still a little bit too big. I make a little small thing because I don't really need it that big, and then turn this down until I need it. Now let's go check out the media browser. I never use this media browser. The way I just brought my file in is pretty much how I always bring my files in, so I don't need a media browser. I'm closing that. My information, you know, I barely ever use that, so to me it's not worth the real estate space, so I close it. My effects, I definitely use that. And what I like to do with my effects is, some people like to leave it open fully, some people don't. I use it frequently, so you can see I have my little custom file here. What I like to do is I take the effects and I put it with the effects in the tab. So my effects are here, and normally I like the effects controls first, and then my effects there. So when I need stuff, I just bounce back and forth like this. And then what else I like to do, I take my project workspace, and I don't like this down here because I want my timeline to fill up this whole screen here. I take my project workspace and I like to put it right here. I drop it right there. You're not going to be in here all the time, so once you're done using it, you know, you could just make it small like this. The main thing you're going to be using a lot is your effect controls in your timeline. As for my markers, I don't use it that frequently. If I do use it, I'll open it back up in the window, which would be up here, window, markers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close that because I don't need it. You know, my history panel, yeah, I never really use it. I mean, I guess I could, and it's not a bad thing, but I just hit Control Z, but it's a very useful thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close that as well. Now we have your controls here in your timeline. So these are your tools, and you know, I use a lot of shortcut keys, but sometimes I like to use my tools as well, but not often. So what I do is I leave those tools right there and I drag them like that. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much my custom layout. So now you want to save this so that when you come back in here, you have this layout saved. So what you want to do is go up to Window, Workspace, New Workspace, and the New Workspace name dialog opens up. You just name it what you want. I like to name mine The Real. Why? I don't really know, because it's the real deal workspace. That works out the greatest for me. Click OK, and now it's saved. So now, if you go up here and look, Workspace, you can see The Real has the spot checked on it. If I wanted to reset the current workspace, it'll go back to the default of editing, but I'm not going to do that. So you can go in here and change, if you know you're working just on audio, you go in here and change it to audio, workspace. If you're working on just color correction, go on color correction. And then you could delete anything. If you want to delete the workspace you just made, click delete workspace and then click the dialog here and click the real and click OK. But I'm going to keep it because it's my favorite workspace. We're going to cancel that, back to workspace, and go back to the real. So now why this works out best for me is because if I was looking to cut a clip from my source monitor, like right here, if say I wanted this clip right here, go in and I'd make it out here, I can then just drag it here to my timeline. And that's the cut that I would want. Go back to your program monitor. That's my main workspace that I like to use. You got your audio controls here, so you just slide them out when you need them. By tucking your source monitor right here, you gain a lot of real estate space versus having it over here on the side, opening things up. It depends how big you want to work. If you want it small or big, that's fine. I mean, you could do something like that too, and have that small there, and then when you need it, open it up. It all depends on the size of your monitor. Right now I'm on a MacBook Pro, so it's got like a 15.4 inch screen or something, so real estate is a big issue. Put this back here, and like I said, I like my program first and my source monitor second. You just drag these little handles and you're good to go. And like I said, for the most part, if you needed your effects here, if you want to put a quick color corrector on here or had to do something like this, you get your effects here. And then you're done with this, and you just click back here, click on your clip, and your controls are here. So this is the main thing used. So if you're not using this, you just close that and you can open this up more. And then it comes in handy. You can do whatever you need to do right here. And so like I said, this is the best layout that I like to use. You're definitely welcome to use it. You can try a different layout that works for you. You might not use the effects really much. You might just do straight editing. You might not do any effects. So you close that, but it's not really in your way by tucking it in there. So anything you want to open, you go back to Window and put effects, and it's going to go right back to where you deleted it. If I delete my source monitor right here, it's gone. You want it back, you go back up the Window, source monitor, and you get it back. Same thing. If you didn't need your audio here or your levels, because pretty much you could look at your master level right here. You don't need your audio open fully all the time. So I like to keep it closed there, and then when I need it, I just expand it here, because obviously when I'm working on my audio, I'm not working on my video. So close it up there. I have my timeline fully exposed at the bottom, taking up as much room as I can. I got my program and source monitor tucked in here. I got my effects controls tucked up with my effects browser. That's it, guys. I hope this helped you out. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below or send me a message. Be sure to like this video if it's helped you out. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.